Whatever I choose, and I'll sing the blues if I want. I'm free to say whatever I like. If it's wrong or right, it's alright. Always seems to me you only see what people want you to see. How long's it gonna be before we get on the bus and cause no fuss? Get a grip on yourself, it don't cost much. Free to be whatever you say. If it comes no way, it's alright. You're free to be wherever you please, so you can shoot the breeze if you want. Always seems to me you only see what people want you to see. How long's it gonna be before we get on the bus and cause no fuss? Get a grip on yourself, it don't cost much. Free to be wherever I choose, and I'll sing the blues if I want. You're in my mind. You know you might find something that you new, and now it's all gone, and you know it's all gone. Yeah, you know it's all wrong, and you know it's all gone. Whatever I choose, and I'll sing the blues if I want. I'm free to be whatever I choose, and I'll sing the blues if I want. Whatever you do, whatever you say, yeah, I know it's alright. Whatever you do, whatever you say, yeah, I know it's alright. All the young blues carry the news. All the young blues carry the news. Hey, welcome one, welcome two, welcome three, and welcome all to the Beantown podcast for Sunday, the Lord's Day, April 15th, 2018. How are you? What's going on? This is Quinn Furness, and we are checking in on you live from 817 St. Paul Street in cloudy, misty Beantown, USA. Or it was a scorching 83 degrees yesterday. It has since cooled down a little bit. I walked out of so I was hanging out last night down in Canton, down by the waterfront, and I totally had my call me by your name look going. I got the button down, but like the top 3 buttons are done. So, I'm getting some of that Gaston chest hair pouring out. got the shorts going on. Felt great, having some drinks, living, laughing, loving. She's just a woman. And woke up this morning, and it was a little bit chilly. My shorts and my sexy shirt weren't quite cutting it. But as my beautiful mother, Jane Dennison Furness, would always say, it is better to look good than to feel good, and I truly take that to heart. How are you? What's going on? Thanks for checking out my podcast. Please like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, at Beantown Cast. We're on SoundCloud. We're on iTunes. We're everywhere that you want to listen to your podcast. If you like us, show us to your friends. Give us a listen. I've heard that we're getting better each episode. So, we're doing that. Got a couple things to jump into before we get going here today with the main theme, which I know you all, the main act, which you've all been looking forward to, which is my grandmother. We're going to get to that in 1 second here. But first and foremost, listener discretion is advised when listening to the Beantown podcast. First, we drop the occasional profanity here and there, so you got to watch out for that. And second, the podcast is just objectively terrible, so that's consider yourself warned. That was the first thing I wanted to put out there. The second thing, I know I've mentioned that we are going to Boston Cinco de Mayo to do a podcast out there. Beantown's hitting the road, but we are actually adding a second stop to the road trip. It's actually taking place the weekend before. So in 2 weeks, Beantown officially hits the road. We're going to Memphis, Tennessee to do a podcast down by the Mississippi. Just like Mark Twain used to write, Life on the Mississippi. It's going to be fun. We're excited. We're doing that not next weekend, but the weekend after. We're hitting the road to go to Memphis, and then after that, as promised, we will be in Boston, Massachusetts to do a podcast up there. We're going to be doing some work with Ryan Ligon and Kristen English. Their Car Ride Convos podcast is pretty sick, lit fire. Check that out. You can like them on Facebook. They're on Instagram. I'm not even on Instagram. I can't catch up with these guys. Maybe they're on Twitter. I'm not sure. I might have them there, but check them out on YouTube. Check them out on SoundCloud. That's good stuff. They put out some quality content. They've put out three episodes in the last 7 or 8 days alone. So I've got some catch up to do with my listening there. But work has been so crazy that. And I'm not technologically advanced enough to, be having the podcast going in the car while I'm going. Although I suppose, if you're on iTunes, I can download it onto my phone. There's some big news for you too. I have purchased a new phone. It has not arrived in the mail yet, but I've had my iPhone 5C, my first ever smartphone, for many years now. Honestly, it's kind of glitchy here and there, but it's still serving its purpose. The big problem is charging. It can be really finicky with the charging. I think the port is damaged. I know all about the lint and the charging port thing. I've taken care of all of that. Basically nothing's working at this point. So I shelled out, $500 for a refurbished 7. It'd be another, $120 for Apple Care for 2 years. But I think it's worth it. We're going from 8 gigs of storage to 32 gigs, which might not seem like it makes a big difference if you've been, living the 32 or the 64 gig life your whole smartphone career. But for me, when it's a pain to, have 76 or 77 photos on your phone, and I don't even have Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook on my phone, it's going to be a big upgrade. And it seems kind of silly, but I do think it's going to improve my quality of life a little bit. Not having to stress every time I need to charge my phone. The last couple weeks or so, it's been a stress. You try to get in the right position. Sometimes it goes off without a hitch. Sometimes you're just sitting there bewildered as you watch your battery drain and you can't charge your phone. That's not a good feeling. So anyways, enough of the rambling. I know everyone who's here is here for one reason, and that is because my Grandma Sal is about to join us on the podcast. We're really excited to have her on. We're going to be talking about stamping for the next 10 or 15, maybe even 20-ish minutes or so here, and then we'll close out with a song, and that will be the podcast. It's pretty mellow, but that's okay. We're not looking to do anything too crazy or too wild on this podcast. We'll have plenty other ones where we can indulge in that behavior. But let's do a little phone a friend action here. I'll pretend I'm Regis, and we'll try to get my grandma on the phone. This is all happening live, so we're going fingers crossed that grandma's going to pick up. If she doesn't, then I'm going to have to vamp a little bit more, and who knows, I might end up playing Oasis for the next 2 hours until she calls back. So we're going to go fingers crossed that this is going to go off well, and yeah, let's give her a ring, and we will let's see how this goes. All right, we are ringing. This is all happening live. This is very exciting for our podcast. Hi, Grandma. It's Quinn. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. You're live on the Beantown podcast.
Wow, already? Okay.
Yeah, well, we're jumping right in. So we were playing a song, and then we were giving some updates for the schedule, because we're going on the road in a couple of weeks here to Memphis and Boston to do some podcasts. So it's very exciting. But yeah, how does it feel to be on live air?
It's scary. I'm scared to death.
I know, I'm scared too, but it's okay because we're doing it and it's fun. Did you get the questions that I sent you the other day?
I did. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I sent it on Friday the 13th, so hopefully there was no bad luck in the email, but yeah.
Well, on Friday the 13th, we drove to Houston to visit a friend, and the traffic was horrible, so that was enough bad luck for Friday the 13th.
How was your time with your friend?
The time with the friend was fun, but
That's
getting
good.
there and getting back wasn't so great.
Yeah. How do you like the city of Houston? I don't know it very well.
Not particularly well. It's very spread out and
Yeah.
just hard to navigate, I think. So
Yeah, that's what I've
I
heard.
know there as little as possible.
Sure, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast, and I know I promise I won't take up too much of your time, because I know your schedule is very tight, and you probably have lots of other podcasts to do today, so I won't take up too much of your time. But let's go ahead and jump in. So we're talking about stamping today. I know you like to make cards, and you're very crafty, and I didn't get any of those genes handed down to me, so I'm pretty jealous of your skills and abilities. But the first question is just, how did you first become interested, or how long have you been stamping and making cards?
Well, I first became interested in 1994 when Grandpa retired, and we started going to San Diego. And I will say at this point, San Diego, California, because your listeners might not know that there's a San Diego, Texas also.
I didn't even know that.
It's very close to Corpus Christi, Texas. It has a population of 5,000. And when you're talking San Diego around here, you have to be sure to say San Diego, California.
Sure.
So we started going in 1994, and while in the winter, just for 4 months to get out of the Minnesota cold. And while we were there, I discovered that their community ed was totally free, and they had an entire book of classes you could take. And one of them was greeting card making. So I went to the first class, which was held in a church. It was once a week on Wednesdays for 2 hours. And I continued to go to that class for the whole 10 years that we went to San Diego, California.
Wow.
And that's where I learned everything that I knew about stamping. It was just starting then, just starting to get big.
So you became a regular at this class. You would probably walk in and they'd be like, "Hey, Sal, we got your order already." Yeah, exactly.
There were about 15 of us that went every week. And, of course, I missed them. They went year-round, and I only got to go 4
Sure.
And it was always so much fun to come back and see them all again.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that's really interesting. This is all stuff that I didn't even know, so I'm really happy that we're talking about this. So I know that you like to go to like, stamping shows, and I've heard rumors of a stamping cruise. I don't know how true that is, but tell us a little bit about some of the shows that you go to and or conventions and what those are like.
Well, back in the days when it was first getting started, there were many, many stamping stores that you could go to, and a stamping cruise that actually Grandpa and I and Auntie Stacy went on one time that went from, let's see, I think L.A. down into Mexico, a 4-day cruise where we just stamped and made cards all day long. But those days have kind of changed a little bit, and with the advent of the internet, and, you know, the internet does it to everybody, and it also does it to stamping. And so people have come on the internet now as my guru, called Jennifer McGuire, and she and many, many other people do classes on the internet, and she puts on a video probably about 3 times a week for things that you can do. And so stamping shows have kind of gone by the wayside, although there is one that still continues and comes around about once a year to Minneapolis, and I go and I work at it sometimes, letting people in the door, checking their wristbands, helping people that are teaching at classes at the shows. And so there is still the one big one, but nothing like there used to be back in the old days before it got onto the internet.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the questions I had was, you know, the internet and the postal service, you know, all that stuff has changed a lot in the past 10 or 20 years. So I feel like sending cards is something that you don't see as much these days, but you always still send me birthday cards and Christmas cards, and I have my Easter one and my Valentine's Day one up on my fridge right now. So do you think people are still going to be sending cards in the distant future, or do you think that that's slowly dying, or do you think that there's still, you know, going to be a contingency of people who can continue to do it?
I think that store-bought cards are going by the wayside.
Sure.
Maybe to hand it to a friend, but not so much through the mail. But
Yeah.
I think handmade cards will continue. I never realized how big stamping was in foreign countries.
Oh, yeah.
For example, England, France, you know, until I got on the internet, on Facebook, particularly on a site called Unbranded Stamping Dies, and hear from people all over the world that are into stamping and dies. You and I haven't even gotten into cutting dies. Cutting dies were invented probably in the last 10 years. They're made of little metal. They go through a machine called a cuttle bug, although there are many, many machines now, but that was the first one, called a cuttle bug. You wind it through on plastic plates, and it cuts out whatever you want to put on your card. So you don't always just have to stamp anymore. You can make these little paper guys and put them on your cards, and that's a real big thing. And that brings us to another huge advent in the stamping shows, and that is dyes from China. We all know that just about everything is made in China.
Yep.
And stamping dyes are no different. And now you can buy them directly from China, from a huge company, kind of the Amazon of China, called Alibaba. And they sell everything that Amazon sells, but they also sell stamping dyes. Now, if I can buy a stamping die from China for $2.94, that's going to cost me $20 if I order it through the internet. The same thing. What do? I want to keep my guru, Jennifer, in business, but I
Sure.
So it's a dilemma, and a lot of people are facing that. And a lot of stamping companies and cutting die companies are wondering what they're going to do about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's emblematic of a larger economic issue that's been happening for a long time now with China. And yeah, I know our president likes to talk about how badly we're losing to China, and it's pretty funny when he says it, but I think he has some interesting points regarding that issue. Yeah. Do you have any favorite or memorable cards or projects that you've made ever since you started getting into stamping?
I guess the one that comes to mind right now is the one I sent you for your birthday.
Ooh,
With the dogs.
that was a good one. Yeah, that was a great one.
That die was invented by a gentleman named Tim Holtz, and I first saw him probably 10 years ago at a big stamping show at the Mall of America in Minneapolis, and he was just up on the third floor, and he had a table out where people could gather around, and no one had ever heard of Tim Holtz, and now he's huge, and he travels all over the world, and he has a huge company called Ranger Industries, and I'm sure he's a multi-millionaire in the stamping business. So that's one of my favorites. Anything that Tim Holtz produces is one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
I love those dogs.
Yeah, they're so cool. I like when my friends come over to my apartment and I can show them all the cards that you send me because they're always so amazed, and I like to say that that's my grandma. So
Well,
yeah.
thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're more popular than I am among my friends, but
At least when it comes to
at least when it comes to stamping,
stamping.
for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so we're getting towards the end here. This next question isn't necessarily related to stamping unless you want it to be, but what advice do you have for young people like myself who are, early mid-20s, who are, out of college or grad school, but just kind of getting going in life?
Well, I guess my big thing would be, and I don't have to tell you grandchildren this because you already know it, but travel. Travel all you can. Go every place that you can. Go to foreign countries. Go to the U.S. Go everywhere because that's how you learn so much. We started out, the very first place we ever went was Japan when Grandpa was president of Rotary, and we went to Japan for the International Convention. And a lot of times we felt like we couldn't afford to go where we were going, but we went anyway. And I guess that's it. There are lots of things you can spend your money on these days, but my advice would be travel.
Sure. You've been to all 50 states, right?
I certainly have, yes.
Do you know?
A lot of foreign countries.
Do you know how old you were when you hit number 50?
No, I sure don't.
Okay. Probably like 16. Yeah. Do you know how many countries you've been to?
No, but I probably should sit down and figure it out.
Probably closer to, I don't know, 60 or 70. You've been all over the place. And you're at 6 continents, right? Everything except for Antarctica?
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
I think so.
Well, I think maybe next year you should do one of those Antarctic cruises instead of Italy and the Mediterranean. You should just go down and check it off your list. Pretty, casual. So
That's a thought. That's a good thought.
it'll be just like in the old days when the explorers would go around the Cape of, is it Cape of Good Hope or Cape Horn in South America, and they go all the way around the tip. You could do one of those cruises. It would be like a conquistador reenactment trip. I don't know. I would be a fan of that.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah. Well, do you have any last parting thoughts for the podcast?
I don't. I think it's a fun thing that you're doing, and I'm glad that you included me.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed doing it. I'm not nearly so scared now as I was in the beginning.
Well, I've been trying to tap into the 80 to 89-year-old demographic for at least 2 or 3 weeks now. So I think this is really gonna this is really going to do big things for the podcast. And Jack was on last week, and that was one of the most highly reviewed podcasts that we've had yet. So I think it's
had a chance to listen to that one yet, but we certainly plan to.
it's good if you're looking to help yourself fall asleep, because we were both really tired and we played a game of cribbage for about 45 minutes over the podcast, and that's about as exciting as it got. But yeah, it was a good time. He was here for a couple days and we got to do some fun things. So yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. Well, how much longer are you in Texas for?
We'll be here. We're leaving 2 weeks from tomorrow, but I'm not sure it's safe to go home. They still have snow in Minnesota.
I have a friend.
What's your weather like?
Well, so I have a friend who was doing some work events in Minneapolis this weekend, and I think that they might have had to cancel because I was looking at her videos that she sent, and the snow was crazy. And I know the Twins have had to cancel, I think, 3 games in a row now against the White Sox because it's been so cold. So yeah, we haven't gone as crazy here. I was in Pittsburgh last weekend and it snowed multiple days there, but it wasn't, like crazy snowstorm blizzard, or it was just kind of gross and yucky stuff. And then yesterday out here it was about 80 to 85 degrees. It was really crazy. And I know, yeah, it just kind of came out of nowhere. And then this morning it's about mid 40s and kind of raining, so not quite as nice. But I think this next week is supposed to be about mid 60s and kind of raining here and there. But as long as it's not in the 30s and 40s, I can handle it. So yeah.
Well, the big thing that's going on here this weekend is the Selena celebration.
Ah, sure.
You know Selena.
I do.
Heard of her before we came here, but there is not a hotel room left in town. There are thousands of people here for the Selena celebration. It's the biggest thing that goes on in Corpus Christi.
So I know that she's big there and there's a statue there. Is Corpus Christi her hometown?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
that makes sense. Yeah. No, I think she kind of had her, her popularity before I ever really knew what was happening in pop music. And then, she died. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how long ago, but yeah. So I don't know her super well, but I am familiar with her, and I know she's big, down by you guys. So
Big.
yeah.
Evidently all over the country, because people are here from many, many states.
Sure. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This was really cool, and I'm glad we were able to do this. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah.
I was honored.
How is Grandpa doing?
He's doing just fine.
That's
Really
good.
fine. He's just sitting here reading the newspaper.
Excellent.
Yeah, he's doing really well. We're getting anxious. We're going on that cruise, on the 12th of June. So we're getting all ready for that.
Yeah, you guys are going to have an exciting summer. You're going on a cruise, and you're coming to Vancouver. So, yeah, it'll be a good time. So.
And I guess I forgot to mention about the bluegrass cruise that we go on. That doesn't have anything to do with stamping, but it's one of the big things in our life is the bluegrass music, and we go on a bluegrass cruise every January to listen to all the bluegrass bands.
Does
Really enjoy.
do Lil Roy and Lizzie ever come on?
Yes.
Oh man, they're pretty funny. They're comical and entertaining to watch. Yeah. Great. Well, thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate it, and I will definitely send you the link to the podcast when we get it up, and you'll be able to listen to yourself for the rest of your life. So, yeah.
We'll see you July the 28th, I believe it is.
Yep, it's only 3 months away now, so I'm looking forward to it. This is my busiest month of work, and then once May hits, I'm still traveling a decent amount, but it's just kind of quiets down a little bit. So I'm looking forward to actually getting to take a vacation and not having to, talk to high school kids and their counselors while I'm traveling. So, yeah.
And you're going to Alaska first, right?
Yep. Walton, Jack, and I are going to Anchorage and Denali for about 4 or 5 days, and then we're heading down to Vancouver and spending a week there. So, yeah. Looking forward to it.
Hear all about it and see your pictures.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a really good time. I'm getting a new phone that has more storage, so I'll be able to take lots of pictures. So, yeah. Great. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and please give my love to Grandpa.
Will do, and thanks for calling.
Absolutely. Okay, I'll talk to you soon, Grandma.
Bye.
All right, bye. Wow, what a thrill. That went amazing. That I'm filled with so much love and joy right now to be able to get my grandma on the podcast. And I know she was anxious and nervous beforehand, and she wasn't sure if she was going to have anything to say, but look at what she did. She came out swinging for the fences like a Major League Baseball player, and she really knocked it out of the park. So thank you again so much to my grandma, Grandma Sally, for coming on the podcast. That was lovely. That is absolutely the highlight of my Sunday. So thank you all for listening. We're actually even, to be honest, running longer than I anticipated at this point. So I don't really have anything else that I want to say at this point. We're going to play another song. This has been the week of Oasis. You heard us, my brother Jack, lead us in our first series of Beantown, or first in a series of Beantown Unplugged, sort of like that MTV Unplugged thing, but 10 times better, more talent, more good looks, more blondness. We played, he played, and I just kind of hung out with them. Wonderwall, that was released a couple days ago. You heard me play Whatever by Oasis to open, and now to finish, we're going to sing probably my favorite Oasis song. It's called Live Forever. So thank you all for tuning in to this week's podcast. I really appreciate it and really appreciate the support. So happy that we could get my grandma on the podcast, and to be able to do all this live is just really a great experience. So I will catch everyone next week, check in with you. We're going to have special guest Joaquin Nolasco come on, and he's going to talk about following your passions and pursuing your dreams, and what to do when life sort of sidetracks you from doing those things. So looking forward to that. We'll have some more information about Joaquin's interview coming up this week. Again, in 2 weeks, we'll be on the road in Memphis. In 3 weeks, we'll be on the road in Boston. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or gripes, you can always email us at beantownpodcast@yahoo.com. That's Beantown, BEANTOWN podcast@yahoo.com. All right, that's what I got for you. Go out, have a great week. Maybe I don't really want to know I got in gross, 'cause I just wanna fly. Lately, did you ever feel the pain in the morning rain as it soaks you to the bone? Maybe I just wanna fly, wanna live but don't wanna die. Maybe I just wanna breathe, maybe I just don't believe. Maybe you're the same as me, we see things they'll never see. You and I gonna live forever. Said maybe, don't really wanna know how you got in grows, 'cause I just wanna fly. Lately, did you ever feel the pain in the morning rain as it soaks you to the bone? Maybe I will never be all the things you want me to be. Now is not the time to cry. Now's the time to find out why. I think you're the same as me. We see things I'll never see. You and I gonna live forever. Said maybe don't really wanna know how your garden grows, 'cause I just wanna fly. Lately, did you ever feel the pain? Morning rain, as it soaks you to the bone. Maybe I just wanna fly, wanna live but don't wanna die. Maybe I just wanna breathe. Maybe I just don't believe. Maybe you're the same as me. We see things I'll never see. You and I gonna live forever. We're gonna live forever. We're gonna live forever. We're gonna live forever. We're gonna live forever. Gonna live forever.